Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Bank Roadshow meeting this morning. I'm Andrea Mendez-Barrutia, the Director of Community Engagement for the Hispanic Collaborative. As a reminder, the purpose of the monthly Bank Roadshow series is to support Milwaukee's banking, financial, and frontline entrepreneur support community with in-depth information on the entrepreneurial ecosystem, programs, and services in order to strengthen our community's existing and budding entrepreneurs. It's an opportunity to learn about the resources we have in our community. This morning, we are welcoming Marina Borges, Certification Analyst at Milwaukee County Community Business Development Partners. Marina will present and then we'll open it up to some Q&A.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to go over some things here as far as getting DBE, ACDBE, or SBE certified through Milwaukee County. So I will walk you through that this morning. Okay, as far as Milwaukee County, we do issue certifications for disadvantaged business enterprise certifications, airport concession disadvantaged business enterprises, small business enterprise certifications. And basically what a disadvantaged business enterprise is a for-profit small business concern where socially and economically disadvantaged individuals own at least 51% interest and also control management and daily business operations. The difference between the DBE and the ACDBE is that the Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Enterprise certification is for airport contracting opportunities. So basically what that means is that your business would have to provide some type of product or service to airport concessionaires to sell in the airport. Our certification for small business enterprise is, I'm gonna say it's not as, how can I explain this? We do not have like restrictions, I guess you could say, as far as getting a certification in that area, because there are other agencies, certifying agencies that do require you to be like a year or 2 or maybe 3 years in business. And Milwaukee County doesn't do that. So as long as you can demonstrate that you can operate a small business, you have a small business plan, you have an EIN or articles of incorporation, we will be able to certify your firm as SBE. SBE requirements will be shown. Oh, sorry. They will be shown in upcoming slides. And as far as being DBE, ACDBE, or SBE certified, all of those 3 certifications are part of the Unified Certification Program. It's called the Wisconsin UCP program. And basically, if you have a certification with Milwaukee County, City of Madison, Dane County, or WSDOT, they're interchangeable. So if you are applying or competing for bids in any of those with any of those different cities, you will be considered for federally funded projects, which apply to the DBE and ACDBE certifications. And as far as Milwaukee County, we do have a TBE participation program that is upcoming, and that basically means a TBE is a targeted business enterprise, which includes disadvantaged business enterprise, airport concession, disadvantaged business enterprises, and SBEs, but we also accept the minority business enterprise certification along with the, what is the other one? The women's business enterprise certification from the state of Wisconsin. And if you have a certification in SAM.gov. And I do apologize, this is a lot of acronyms and things to remember. So we will move on to the next slide and I can take any questions on those. But I will again mention about the TBE participation program is that Milwaukee County is working on a way to actually have firms register as TBEs in our system. Therefore, like if you don't have your DBE or your ACDBE, but you do have your MBE or your WBE, or your SAM certification, you will go into a database. And so if there's an opportunity for TBE participation, then we will able to look up your firm and verify that you are registered with the county. Hope I didn't lose anybody there. Okay, and why is certification beneficial? It's a great tool to use to market your business. Once you get certified as a DBE or ACDBE, your business name will go into the Wisconsin UCP. And again, the Wisconsin UCP is comprised of Milwaukee County, City of Madison, Dane County, and Wistat. Also, as far as participating or submitting bids for federally funded projects for Milwaukee County, if you are DBE, ACDBE certified, then that kind of gives you an advantage if those contracts require that participation. Also, once you become DBE or ACDBE certified, you can also apply for interstate certification with other certifying agencies who also recognize the DBE, ACDBE. And so that kind of opens up doors if you have a business that you want to grow. I think a lot of our firms that are DBE or ACDBE certified do apply with the neighboring states to obtain that certification to do business in those states. And the interstate certification process is actually shorter than the regular initial certification. Because once you have a certification approval from Milwaukee County, all you have to do is look into the other certifying agencies in the neighboring states, and you can apply for interstate certification with them, whereas you give us permission to send your information over to that certifying agency, and they can go through reviewing your information and or issuing your certification there. Also, being DBE, ACDBE certified also can help you build relationship with primes. There's lots of primes who are always looking for a sub, and so we have a lot of prime, when I say prime contractors that are looking for DBE, ACDBE certified firms, and they go through our directory and or they reach out to us directly, and we can supply a list to a firm who's looking for businesses that are certified in certain NAICS codes. Certification through Milwaukee County also means that you are ready, willing, and able to perform a commercially useful function. Most of the time, I'm going to say like 90% of the time, our firms are already, they're up and running and or their business is just starting. There are some firms that are starting from scratch, and as long as they have the initial criteria, we do certify those firms. But again, in order to apply for or compete for a bid or RFP, you would have to have the qualifications that's listed in that RFP or bid. And also being DBE or ACDB certified demonstrates that you have the capability to be responsive and responsible for the projects that you are competing for. All right, as far as the criteria for DBE, ACDBE, you do have to be a U.S. citizen or have permanent residency, be a for-profit business, be socially or economically disadvantaged, be a minority or women-owned business, having a minimum of 51% ownership, have control over business decisions, have a personal net worth under 1.32 million. The DBE max gross receipts are 28.48 million. So as long as your business is under 28.48 million, you're qualified for DBE as long as you meet the other criteria. And ACDBE actually gives you more leeway for your business to earn money. So the gross receipts for ACDBE are 56.42 million. And of course, the gross receipts is an average over 3 years. For DBE, right now it's 5. As far as for SBE for Milwaukee County, it's pretty much the same requirements as DBE since we are mirroring DBE. However, for SBE, it's another form for women-owned businesses to to apply, and also for you can also have like it's not like, I'm not going to say that it's like for minorities only, but Caucasian males and females are also able to apply for SBE as long as they meet the size standards for according to the SBA small business standards. And they also must have a personal net worth under 1.32 million. All right. As far as what it takes to become certified, I know a lot of individuals and sometimes firms think it's a really long, tedious process, and sometimes it can be. The thing that I would like to say is that if you're an established business and you have more, I guess, like paperwork or contracts and whatnot, that's information that has to be provided to Milwaukee County for us to vet your business. For firms that are smaller, it's not quite so invasive because they're growing, but the larger your business is, the more documentation we are going to require. We do have to, firms do have to apply or submit a affidavit of certification and personal net worth statements with the certification application, and both of those forms must be notarized. So basically, the affidavit of certification just it confirms that you are either a female or you are of a minority background, or you're socially and economically disadvantaged. And your personal net worth statement is basically listing everything that you own. That can go from your bank accounts, your any like stocks, investments, properties, your household goods. A lot of people tend to leave that blank, but it's like everybody, I'm assuming, I shouldn't assume, but when you do have a home and you have to list all your household goods, that's something that should go on the personal net worth statement. A lot of people don't think they have to include it. And also if you have like any vehicles and whatever else, but all that information is on the personal net worth statement. And both of those two documents have to be notarized and stamped. And then we will need personal taxes for all owners. Basically, we ask for 3 years of personal taxes for new firms. And if you co-own a business, we would also need the personal taxes for the other partner. We would like to see business taxes as well. If your firm is already existing, then we do need to see 3 years of business taxes, or 5 if your firm has been in business over 5 years, because those business taxes have to be reviewed as well. And so those would also be part of the certification application. We do like to see resumes for the owner or owners, just to see what the background is and how their background experiences relate to the business that they are doing right now. Also, we do require that you provide your EIN, your designation. Is your firm an LLC? Are you a corporation? Your article of organization? Ownership details, any affiliations, if your firm is doing business with another firm and or they're somehow connected, we like to know what's going on there. The date that your firm was opened, the NAICS codes that you have selected for your firm. And NAICS codes are very important because those are the codes that drive your business. So like, what kind of services do you provide? What are the products that you're selling? Like, what is the specialty of your business? The NAICS codes can be found on the US Census website. So if you go to census.gov, you can go through the NAICS codes to determine which ones actually fit your business. We do need a business description. If you have a line of credit or business account, we need to see those documents, any current or past contracts. If you are renting a space for your firm, for your business, we do need to see the lease agreement. If you own like a property, we need to see those documents. If you have put money aside to build your business and you use that money towards your business, we'd like to see any of those transactions. such as like I don't know, checking accounts. I don't even think people use money orders anymore, but that as well, if that's what you use to start your business, your operating agreement, like, who's in charge and who's doing what, and, how is your business operating? And, we need that in writing as well. If you're, especially if you're in a partnership with another person, your insurance documents, are you insured, bonded? And if so, like, who is the insurance company and what is that amount worth? We need to know the equipment inventory list. I know it gets pretty detailed, so we like to know, like, what do you have in order to operate your business? What do you have on hand to operate your business? Where is it kept? And is it kept in storage or somewhere else? If so, we need to see that too. If your employees are on payroll, how much are they making? How long have they been with your company? Any stock certificates, domestic annual reports? Is there any licensing required for the business that you are doing? And if so, who holds that license? So, I mean, it can get pretty invasive, but again, the longer your business has been in business, then the more documentation we are going to require. Also, once we vet all this information, then I schedule a virtual on-site interview, because right now that's what we do. In the past, before COVID, our certification analyst would actually go out to your business and they would go through your documents with you. They would walk through your business to see what you have. Also, if you have a logo, is your logo on any of the items that you have at your business? Like, there's trucking firms who have their logo on their trucks. They'll have like their logo on their door. We just need to verify that your business is truly in existence and operating. Also, as far as submitting a certification application, our office has and any of the offices, the certifying agencies do have up to like 90 days to turn around and process your application. But in all honesty, as far as for me, speaking for myself, it depends for me how, if the firm has submitted all the proper documentation, then it's not going to take 90 days to turn around and process this information. I am pretty good about reaching out to people and letting them know what they need, because the faster, not the faster, but I guess yes, the faster. If I can get through a certification application a little quicker, then it just leaves more time for the next person who's also waiting to get certified. So that's basically how I do it. But we do have 90 days to turn around and certify a firm or not certify a firm. But for the most part, I believe most of the firms do get certified. As far as doing business with the county, we do have a website for RFP and bids. And when you go on that website, you'll be able to see all the opportunities that are available to individuals, firms, or whatnot on the current projects that Milwaukee County is working on. They could be construction projects. They could be professional services. Milwaukee County could also be in need of certain products or goods, or whatever the case may be, but all that information is on our webpage. And so as far as submitting an RFP or bid, the departments vary as far as the information that they're requesting. So the only thing I would advise if you are looking for a bid or a RFP is that you please read all the content that's listed in that RFP, because it will give you direction as far as what type of documents that they are looking for you to have in your RFP or your bid. If you want to like submit like additional information, there may be some links that you can upload additional information that you want to provide in addition to what's required. Also, the RFPs, RFQs or RFIs, a request for proposal, request for qualifications, or request for information, they're all set up differently. So as mentioned, as far as like trying to figure out what those qualifications are, what the requirements are, please read the information. And there's various ways to submit that information. Again, all those instructions are listed in that specific RFP, RFQ, or RFI. And also bids are normally, bids and quotes must be submitted using the Milwaukee County supplier portal. And I can provide that link in an upcoming slide. So basically, going to the Milwaukee County supplier portal, it's called the Infor supplier portal. And so if your firm sells any products that you feel Milwaukee County can use or benefit from, you go ahead and register on the supplier portal. And when Milwaukee County has opportunities to purchase supplies, then your firm will be notified and let you know that there is a bid coming out for that specific product. And then you can go ahead and submit your information via bid through the Milwaukee County supplier portal. There's also different ways to submit your information. There is another, I think I'm going to say it's another software program that's called Bonfire that also is used by Milwaukee County. And you can also upload any RFPs, RFIs or RFQs through there. But again, the departments vary right now as far as how they want their RFPs or bids to be submitted. I know, I'm sorry, it's a lot of information. Okay, so where can I view Milwaukee County business opportunities? We do have the Milwaukee County Business Portal. The link is enclosed. I just spoke about the Infor supplier portal. That link is there. Also, registering in eNotify is very helpful. What you can do is once you register in eNotify, you can select different communications that you want to receive for different business opportunities and or everything else like in between, because the city of Milwaukee is included in the eNotify Milwaukee County. I'm not sure about the state, but there are different check boxes that you can wish to receive information on, and it's just a lot of different. It's very broad as far as information that you want to receive in eNotify. You can register in Bonfire, and there's a link there. And in Bonfire, you can probably register your business details. And then as things become available, then your information's already in there before you can upload information for any RFPs. SAM.gov. It's a self-certifying business tool. And so if you are self-certified in SAM.gov, that does open the opportunity for you to participate on non-federally funded projects or provide services to Milwaukee County. So if you have a SAM.gov certification, we will accept that as far as you being a targeted business enterprise. Okay, let's see, other helpful resources here. So we don't really promote the DUNS and getting the SAMS.gov number. However, just because we don't promote it, because we do DBE and ACDBE and SBE, we do feel that it's important for firms to have a DUNS and SAM.gov number, because it just opens the opportunity for your firm to expand and grow your business. So if you're applying for a grant, you have to have a DUNS number and you have to be registered at SAMS.gov. And there's information if you go to the grants.gov website if you're looking for that. Also, SAM.gov also does link you to other government contracting opportunities. So if you're registered there, that's another benefit for your firm. As far as the DUNS number, it's a 9-digit number that's assigned to your firm by Duns & Bradstreet. And basically it's a global number where other firms can look you up if they want to do businesses with you and kind of like check out your credit, kind of like see if you're an active business, like how much do you make and whether you can actually perform the contract or service that they want you to provide. As far as upcoming training opportunities, right now, Milwaukee County is working on trying to be more proactive in the small business community. Our office is currently staffed with 7 people, whereas last year there were only 4 in the office, and they were all management. And so 3 analysts were added this year, which was myself, not this year, I'm sorry, last year, which is Alejandro, myself, and Janine. And so now that we have more staff, we are working together to try to create some more interactive opportunities with the public and the community, as far as doing presentations as far as like what Milwaukee County has to offer, being DBE, ACDBE, or SBE certified. We are also in the process of trying to create some webinars on county content and what happens after you're certified. We're working on all of that at this time. And also Alejandro has created a Milwaukee County Community Business Development Partners newsletter, where we are starting to reach out to the firms to let them know who they are and when they have questions as far as renewing certification every year, because you do have to renew your certification, your DBE, ACDBE, and SBE certification with Milwaukee County every year. How to do that. Also information on primes who have DBE subcontractors, how to report payments to those vendors and whatnot. So we have a lot of things in the works, but we aren't actually there yet. But I'm hoping that in the future, that's some information that we'll be able to share with you guys. But aside from that, there are other upcoming training opportunities through Eventbrite for firms who are looking on who are looking into banking services, how to build your business credit, insurance, like what type of insurances do you need for your business to run. Also upcoming is the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development. It's known as Marketplace, on December 6th through December 7th. And I know there's like some banking folks that are on in this meeting today. So I'm sure this is all information that you all know and provide to firms that meet with you. So you're free to expand on any of the services that your business offers. But for the most part, this is the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Marina. I have no idea how you keep track of all the acronyms. I needed a dictionary.
Yeah, it's it's tough because I mean, there's days where I'm like, what is this again?
So question for you, as you described the certification, you said that businesses have to have a commercially useful function. Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering, at what point do business owners determine that applies to them and then decide to move forward? Like, how can you speak a little bit about that process? Or, I mean, I'm just wondering.
Okay, well, as far as businesses determining whether or not they have a commercially useful function, that would depend on the business that they're establishing and the services or products that they are going to provide. Like how, and honestly, for DBE and ACDBE, it mostly applies to federally funded projects which are mostly like construction projects. And so the commercially useful functions are kind of more so for those firms that can provide like something such as like trucking, roofing, pavement, like asphalt. Any commercial useful function should be something that you can actually find like in the NAICS codes. I know that probably doesn't explain the question, but as long as the firm can as long as a firm can like I don't know how to explain this. I'm sorry, I'm stuck here.
No, I think I understand. Because you're saying from the NICS codes, like it would have
Right.
the category of that commercial business.
Right. As long as a category exists, and if it doesn't exist, I mean, that's one thing that, that we can look into because the US Census does create new codes all the time. But basically, if the service or product that the firm is trying to sell is in the NAICS codes, then it would be a commercially useful function.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? I know we have stuff. I also think it's great to hear about more of the, community level efforts that you all are starting. That's great to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we'll start hosting presentations on the north side and the south side. So that's something that we're talking about and trying to engage other community organizations to work with CBDP.
And there is a note in the chat that says, thank you very much for the information. Definitely many more Hispanics are in the process of progress and growth of their businesses, and they need to have the opportunity to collaborate and be a part of growing Milwaukee.
Yes, and then one thing I'm going to mention too is that I'm very happy to be in certification at this point because there are a lot of Spanish speaking firms that have questions and or need assistance, and I'm bilingual. I'm not the best Spanish speaker, but I'm bilingual. I understand. And so, I've had business owners come over to our office area, and if they need help with their renewals or, they need help as far as providing paperwork, if they contact me ahead of time, I will make arrangements to meet them. So that way it's not so confusing. And or if there's a language barrier, it's easier for them to communicate with me, and I appreciate that. It's Alejandro Rodriguez, he's our strategy and analyst, and so he's very essential also in communicating and doing outreach to our existing firms and talking to other minority owned businesses, particularly the Hispanic vendors. So I mean, for us being in CBDP, I think this has been long coming because there's a lot of firms that are Spanish speaking who need the assistance and are either too passive or too shy to ask. But we want people to know that we are there and available.
Are there any community-based organizations that you tend to get referrals from, or that you just hear from more regularly?
You know what? No. Well, I think a couple of individuals have come over from the Latino area chamber of Southeastern Wisconsin to become certified. We've had individuals come from over there, but other than that community organization or that, we haven't had anyone else come. It's usually word of mouth. It's usually like somebody knows someone who has a business who also wants to become DBE certified. And so that's kind of like how, we get folks in for the most part.
Thank you. Any other questions? Just one last time. You're also welcome to put it in chat. Okay, well, we will end a little early. The recording will go onto our YouTube channel. And Marina, thank you again for presenting. I know this was your first Zoom presentation and it was awesome. Next time we'll be sure to have our little dictionary. But thank you all for being here as well. We really appreciate everyone's time and hope that you have a great day